Who is Robert Prevost, Pope Leo XIV? The American-born theologian is a surprising choice to lead a church in crisis. Vatican City, the cardinals emerged on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica on Wednesday evening, and after a moment of expectant silence, the proto-deacon, a French cardinal, Jean-Pierre Ricard, stepped forward to reveal the identity of the new pope. Habemus papam eminentissimum ac reverendissimum dominum Robertum Franciscum, Sanctae Romanae Ecclesiae Cardinalem Prevost, qui sibi nomen imposuit Leonem quartum decimum. We have a pope, the most eminent and reverend Lord Robert Francis Cardinal Prevost of the Holy Roman Church, who has given himself the name Leo XIV. The choice of Cardinal Prevost 69 came as a surprise. Not only is he an American, only the second ever, but he is not a well-known figure in the Vatican. He has spent the last several years as a missionary in Peru and until recently was a relatively obscure figure even within his own religious order, the Augustinians. But in interviews with several cardinals in the days since the conclave began, a picture emerged of a man seen as an outsider, someone who could bring a fresh perspective to a church mired in scandal and struggling to adapt to the modern world. Cardinal Prevost was born in Chicago in 1955, the son of an Irish-American father and a Peruvian mother. He joined the Augustinian order at a young age and spent much of his early career as a missionary in Peru, where he worked with the poor and marginalized. In 2014, he was appointed Bishop of Chiclayo, a diocese in northern Peru, and in 2023, Pope Francis named him Prefect of the Dicastery for Bishops, a key Vatican department responsible for vetting candidates for bishoprics around the world. His appointment to that post was seen as a sign of Pope Francis's confidence in him, and it gave him a platform to get to know many of the cardinals who would eventually elect him pope. In his first address to the world, Pope Leo XIV struck a humble and conciliatory tone. He acknowledged the challenges facing the Church, including the ongoing sexual abuse crisis, the decline in vocations, and the growing secularization of the West. He called for dialogue and reconciliation, and he pledged to work for the unity of all Christians. "I know that I do not have all the answers," he said, "but I promise to listen to all voices and to seek the guidance of the Holy Spirit." His election comes at a difficult time for the Catholic Church. In recent years, the Church has been rocked by scandals, including the widespread sexual abuse of children by priests and the cover-up of those crimes by church officials. The Church has also struggled to adapt to the changing social and cultural landscape, with many Catholics feeling alienated by the Church's conservative stances on issues such as abortion, same-sex marriage, and the role of women in the Church. Moreover, the Church is facing a demographic crisis, with the number of Catholics declining in many parts of the world, particularly in Europe and North America. In Latin America and Africa, the Church is growing, but it faces challenges from the rise of evangelical Protestantism and other religious movements. The choice of Cardinal Prevost as Pope is seen by some as an attempt to address these challenges. His background as a missionary in Peru gives him a unique perspective on the problems facing the Church in the developing world, and his reputation as a reformer suggests that he may be willing to take bold steps to address the scandals and other issues that have plagued the Church in recent years. But it remains to be seen whether he will be able to unite a Church that is deeply divided and to restore the trust of Catholics around the world. His first few months in office will be crucial in setting the tone for his papacy and in determining whether he can live up to the hopes of those who see him as a new hope for the Catholic Church. The reaction to the election of Pope Leo XIV has been mixed. Some Catholics have welcomed his election, saying that he is a breath of fresh air and that he will bring a new perspective to the Church. Others have expressed concern about his lack of experience in the Vatican and about his views on certain issues. Some conservative Catholics have criticized him for his perceived liberalism, while some liberal Catholics have said that he does not go far enough in his calls for reform. Only time will tell what kind of Pope Leo XIV will be. But one thing is certain, he faces a daunting task in leading a church that is in desperate need of healing and renewal.